everybody. Cinco de Mayo. It's early, even for early riser standards. Early riser didn't get enough sleep, but he'll get more today. Hopefully. It's what time is it? Yeah, 1:43. I'm gonna try to start hiking by. I'm ready to go right now, so maybe 2:30ish if we can get down there. 2:44, whenever we can get down to Chesire. So our plan is we're gonna go all the way back down to Chesire, which is mile marker 1578, where I ended yesterday at Massachusetts Highway 8. And then I'm gonna go ahead and knock out Mount Greylock. I'm figuring by the time I get to the top of there, it's 5 miles, but it's a lot of climbing. Should be, hopefully the sun will be up by then, or at least, daylight is getting to where you can see things at like 5:15 now. But there's already rain outside, so, and the clouds look pretty low. From what I can tell, anyway, there's obviously no stars, so we'll see how it is up there, man. We'll be crossing over 3,000 feet today for the first time, I think, in a long time. At least almost 3,500 feet, so that's pretty cool. And we drove by Mount Greylock yesterday, so it looks pretty awesome. Then we're going to come on down, and then I'm going to call, or I'm going to text him when I get close to Williamstown, Massachusetts. At 1592, that's only 12 miles, but it's going over a big old mountain. And see how my leg's feeling, and if I can keep going, I will. And if I can't, I'll get picked up there. But I'd like to make the MA Vermont border today if I can. That's at mile marker 1596. Yeah, so we'll see, man. We'll see. I'm not going to be out there for a long time. I told them I don't want to walk no more than about 7-ish hours, so we'll see how far I can get. Maybe 6 hours, because I got tomorrow too. I got Saturday to make up the rest of these miles to Bennington. Alright, it's gonna be dark, it's gonna be rainy, I'm gonna be scared, I'm going light, I'm gonna run as much as I can, jog as much as I can, airborne shuffle. But man, going up that mountain and coming down that mountain, I'm gonna take my time and not hurt the leg. Downhills hurt a lot more than uphills, so that's what makes me think that either overextended it, hyperextended it, or something. But anyway, it's feeling okay today. It's a little bit swollen. Yeah, we'll see how it does. Alright, y'all. I'll catch up with y'all later. Maybe I'll take y'all into town with me or something today. I don't know, man. I'm going to come back and try to get a little more sleep, obviously, and get some ice on my leg. Alright, y'all. Hope everybody's Friday's going good. It's Friday. Deuces. Wish me luck. Alright, y'all. Hope everybody's doing good. It is 10:42 in the morning. Got back here about 10 o'clock-ish from hiking this morning. Started really early. I went in and just took a hot shower. Just to warm the body back up. And now I'm icing the foot down a little bit, or the shin down a little bit. Still hurts when I'm out there. Motrin helps alleviate some of the pain so I can walk through it. But yeah, I'm going to take it easy, keep it elevated for the rest of the day. And we did good today, man. The guy that drove me out there convinced me that it would be better to hit Greylock going southbound. So I'm climbing the steepest part, because man, I don't mind climbing. And I get to go down the less steep part, but yet still rocky, down into Chesire, back to where Joe picked me up yesterday. So yeah, that ended up being a really good plan. And from where he dropped me off, man, that leaves about 10.5 left to get back to here. So I'm gonna figure out, I don't know, we'll talk about what I'm gonna do tomorrow just to clean up those 10 miles, but hopefully my leg will support me walking tomorrow. If not, I'm going to have to clean them up Sunday, but I want to get them done. And if my leg's still messed up on Sunday, I might take a 0. I don't know. We'll see. Rainy and muddy. This trail is so muddy. My shoes are covered in freaking mud right now. I mean, they're going to get wet anyway, but eventually you just get tired of hopping back and forth across the trail trying to avoid the mud. And I know I'm in burr mud right now, so I know that's going to be problematic. It's just human nature to want to jump over that mud. Anyway, they're outside. I just rinsed them out. Great thing about trail runners are they rinse really easy. They dry really easy, so I'm sold, man. Trail runners, I won't never go away from them. Alright, so I thought, I read some comments on the drive back here from Chesire. Thought I would do a little Kiwi, kind of like his fireside chat, other than I've got. We'll do a early riser cheap, under the cheap picture chat. How about that? Next to the 1953 headboard. So that's what we're going to call this, early riser under the cheap picture chat. So I wrote down some things that are on my mind, read through some comments on the way back, so just took some notes. And I don't take notes often, and that's one thing Kiwi has over me, is he's always well organized, and I like that about his style when he was on the trail. Alright, injury update. Somebody was saying I think it was Orion, saying that he noticed that I didn't show my injury. And I would challenge you to go back one time since I've been out here, because man, I have blisters almost every day. I'm not going to show you those things. I'm not going to show you my injuries. It's just a mental thing of mine. Because I also know as soon as you do, all the trail doctors come out. And I'm the same way. Like when somebody was injured or somebody, I was like, hey man, try this. So ultimately, yeah, I just don't show y'all my injuries, but I will try to describe them as good as I can. And I'm not doing it to avoid scaring the family or whatever. Believe me, my wife saw the injuries when she came up the first time in the Shenandoah, and she wasn't none too happy when she saw my feet. But anyway, yeah, I won't show you my injuries. It's just me. Alright, I want to talk about Dave. I think it's Corber. Is that how you say it, Dave? Anyway, we'll just call him Dave K, because I'll probably slaughter his last name. What a great dude. He's the guy that brought the water out the other day, and I told you that he does a trail maintenance in Southern Mass. He left a comment, I think it was today or yesterday, I was just reading it on the drive back, of how they're going to go out this weekend or soon and clean up all the deadfall, all the blowdowns. But I'm telling you, man, Massachusetts is a really clean state on the trail, and it looks really good. For the most part, I like the way the trail's routed. And man, some of those downhills are just the way they are. But Dave, you and your crew are doing great. That shelter that I was at, even though it had the porcupines. Yeah, even though we had some issues with that, it still doesn't prevent me from noticing how well that place is taken care of. So kudos to you and your crew. And for the most part, man, the trail looks great down here. So, and there was only a few blowdowns I had to crawl over. So well done, buddy. St. Jude. So yeah, commercials have started. As I see how the monetizing works, and I'll probably wait till after I summit Katahdin, and then it will be kind of like just a consolidated figure amount that we send to St. Jude. And if it's a lot of money, I mean, it ain't going to be tons of money, but I may split that in half and give it to the Humane Society too, because they need some help as well. But St. Jude's the priority for that money, just so everybody knows. So every time you hit view, made me some coffee. I shouldn't be drinking it because I want to go back to sleep, but I know me, I probably won't. So anyway, anytime you hit view, man, you're contributing towards that money going to St. Jude. Jeremy Lay, he wanted a shout out. So Jeremy Lay, early riser, says hello. He asked me about mold growth on the tent when it gets wet. And I'm not that concerned with my tent, only because it's Cuban fiber. And could it get mold on it? Yeah, probably, but mold more so needs, and somebody correct me if I'm wrong, the mold experts out there, but fabric, or it needs something it can grab a hold of and grow on. And I tell you, Cuban fiber, man, it's waterproof just inherently, so I'm not that worried about it. When I pack it up after it's been wet, I shake it off, and there's very little water left on that tent. And I'm telling you, as soon as you fold it back out and get some air on it, it's dry in minutes. So I know everybody, man, can't go fork $700 out for a tent, but if you can, if you're trying to decide where to spend money, getting good items or cheap items, your big three, man, you should throw the most money at those. And your tent's critical piece of kit. Craig Lambert. Man, I agree. So he says he's always stated that the social sciences should always do some research on the trail and the interactions of people and how things go on the trail. And I think that's a fabulous idea. And really, that's what I've been talking about since day one of, man, we've got something figured out here. And I don't know, as I look back at it, I think trail life kind of takes you back to the days when things were a little bit simpler and you're just worried about food, water, shelter, all those base survival needs. And then people, when they just help you fulfill those basic needs with trail magic or something else, man, it just bonds people together. And we're just out here just trying to do a simple thing, which is walk north or south. And we need a little help sometimes. And it's just this community, this little lifeline belt that starts in Georgia and goes all the way up to Katahdin. And the path is only like 4 feet wide at times. Sometimes it's 18 inches wide. But there's a little boundary that surrounds the trail. And you're right, Craig, like, it's this social science. Like it's a petri dish, and they should come just explore it and then see how can we replicate that across America. And I know that's big wishing and big dreams, but man, there's something to it. And you don't even understand it till you come experience it. I've seen it on videos, I've heard it. It didn't sink in until I came out and experienced it. So Craig, man, I agree with you. There's something here. Hopefully I will be energized when I come off the trail and maybe can contribute in some way to that project. I'm going to give a shout out to Doug Lynch. I love getting his reports from Irwin. Bubbles in full swing down there. And the weather they've had down there this year has been, just seems abnormally brutal. Like I'll tell you, this water that we're getting this year, this rain, wet weather, unbelievable. Last year was so dry, and I know it's still early in the season, but this rain, man, I know I'm going to be up to my waist in mud for the next few weeks, or next week going through Vermont, but enough rain, man, we need some sunshine. Doug, it's always good to hear from you. Doug is a shuttle driver down there, and man, I like hearing his stories. And Doug, I hope you keep expanding on what's going on down there, because man, I read yours. I read every word of your posts, man, and I enjoy them. So keep me up to date and go eat some jalapenos for me. Link the videos and upload times. So this is this is what I'm struggling with. I don't necessarily want to reduce the length of my videos. If a video ends up being 30 minutes one day, it's because, man, I thought there was a lot of important stuff for us as a community to talk about. Or I want to tell you a Marine Corps story or an Air Force story. But the challenge is, as we get farther north, man, uploading those videos when they're like 1.5 gigs, because I'm filming in high def or uploading in high def, man, it's brutal. So if y'all want to be patient till I get to town sometimes, then I'll keep the videos at the same length. But it bugs me when I'm out there because I want to upload them. I enjoy what we've started here. I like getting the videos to you almost real time because I think that is something that just hasn't been done, and it's hard to pull back from that. But if we have to, we have to. So if you can, just comment on the, some people don't like 30-minute videos. Some people say they just don't have time in the day to watch them, and I get it. When I'm back home, man, I'm a pretty busy dude too, so y'all just let me know. What's the preference? 12, 15, 20, 25. I think 30 is too long for anything, but and just know as we increase, as the time increases, my ability to upload will decrease. Alright, we're almost at 5,000 subs. In fact, we're like 31 short right now. That's amazing. Craig said it the other day, Spielberg. And I'm not letting it sink in, man, because it's just not me. And like I say on most days, I'm out here alone. Yesterday, I saw one hiker, I think, the whole day. And the only person I talked to besides that person was Joe. And the person when I checked into the hotel. So it's hard to imagine that what Spielberg says is, at this point, we have more subs on this channel following a thru hike than any previous thru hiker. That blows me away just saying it. What? Are you freaking kidding me? But let's be honest, the only reason that's there, not saying that we don't do good things on this channel, but it's because of the path that people like Dixie and Spielberg and Bigfoot and Gator Miller and Jacob Downing, who's getting ready to do a PCT hike. If y'all hadn't seen, I really enjoyed Jacob Downing's thru hike. So if y'all hadn't watched his channel, man, you should watch some of his thru hikes. Anyway, we're about to push over the 5,000 subs, and that's amazing. This community is good for people. So the more we can pull in, the more goodness will spread. So keep telling your friends, keep telling your coworkers, and let's spread the goodness. I want to give a shout out to Jeff Hall. First, I just commented on his channel that about an hour ago, I think, that he sent me a LinkedIn request. And then it was right before I filmed the whatever video, or 2 o'clock or whatever time it was this morning. And I started hitting the X's instead of the checks on like 2 or 3 people. So Jeff, man, I didn't mean to deny your request. Felt like a douchebag after I did it, and then I tried to look you up, man. And there's just under about 1 million Jeff Halls out there. So please send me another request and accept my apologies. But I just watched his channel, man, just one video, and he's going to trail days, and he's been asking me to go the whole time. And he knows I'm not going. Maybe next year, Jeff. But he's doing some free graphics for Bigfoot and some AT graphics, and he shows that in his videos. So y'all should go over and check out his channel. Jeff, those are outstanding, man. And I sent a comment to him of, hey, maybe I can work out something to where we can use him to at least get us off the ground on some of our early riser ideas. So Jeff, I'm not trying to take up your time, and I damn sure ain't asking you to do nothing for free. But I sent you a little example of like a Shields Down shirt idea that I was thinking about. So read it and tell me what you think, buddy. But I'm very interested in kicking this off. But like I said, man, the shelf life of this stuff is, I don't know, it's not long. But I tell you, Bigfoot's staying in the game, man, and And when he gets to trail days, he's going to be like a celebrity, and he should be in that tight little community because the dude's a freaking beast. Me and Joe was talking yesterday on the drive back here, or the drive up here to Bennington, how much of a beast Bigfoot is, man. Like, watch his freaking videos. I'm walking some of the walks that he did 30s in. Are you kidding me, dude? He did the Connecticut Challenge. And me and Joe were like, there ain't no freaking way, man. There ain't no way at that point I could do 58 miles or whatever it was straight. So anyway, Jeff Hall, like, those graphics look badass. And I'd like to see what we can do together, man, if you got time. Alright. Marine Corps story. I'm going to do one more today and then end this, and I might take y'all around town with me, but the next couple of hours are going to be sitting here watching YouTube videos while I have ice on my foot or my leg. Alright. Okay, so there's so many, but this is a story I use when my son complains about having to do something like pick weeds. He hates picking weeds. And picking weeds is one of those, I love it. It's a great childhood task. And picking up things like pine cones or yard debris that keep falling throughout the year. Y'all probably know where I'm going with this. But there's something to be said when you make your children learn that there's some tasks that never end. And picking weeds is one of them. You can pick them, you can spray poison on them. They're coming back. And you're going to have to go out and do it all over again. And then go do it all over again. And it frustrates him. But it frustrates all of us. If you put that in a larger context, it's freaking frustrating to do something like cutting grass and to know I got to go back out there and cut it again in 5 days or a week. So it's good, in my opinion, to those chores that are lifelong, that are never ending. But when, and I use this at work too sometimes, when people complain about having to do something silly, it's so easy. Alright, so it's during the first Gulf War, and I'm on the USS Shreveport. I was 19 years old. It's 1990, and we deployed in August of 1990. Right after Iraq invaded Kuwait. So we're on ship, and it takes us about a month to get over to the Gulf. And if you didn't know, and I don't know how it still is, but back then, usually you just threw your trash off the ship. So all the stuff that comes out of the mess hall, everything, you're putting that into big bags and throwing that overboard. But a couple items you couldn't throw overboard then, I think, was plastic and or aluminum foil. For obvious reasons, they're never going to degrade. But food and paper and all that, it'll eventually break down, and it doesn't feel right to do it, but it's just the way it was. But there's a catch to it. So if you're 50 miles within a shoreline, you can't dump trash, because clearly that will probably have more likelihood to wash up on the shoreline. So we pulled into the Gulf. We were within 50 miles of Kuwait, and when you can't throw trash overboard, you have to store it somewhere. So you have different levels on the outside of the ship. We call it the O2 level. It's the officer level. And outside you've got pretty much a deck. You know, it's still. And they decided, hey, we'll just store the trash out here on the O2 level. And they did. And we started building this pile of trash out there. Now, mind you, it's 100 and something degrees every day outside. And this trash is food and just disgusting. And it's growing as big as, like, it won't even fit in this hotel room. Probably 2 or 3 of these hotel rooms, all the way to the ceiling. And this is about your average size hotel room. And so when we finally pulled 50 miles away from shore and we could dump trash, they quickly realized, and this has been 2 weeks now. Sorry, this has been 2 weeks. This stuff's been marinating out in the sun, and I mean marinating. It makes a privy smell like perfume. So when we finally pull away from shore, get outside the 50-mile range, somebody quickly realizes that we didn't separate the aluminum foil and the plastic out of the trash, and you can't dump it overboard. So who did they call? The United States Marine Corps. So if you were an E3 or below, that's enlisted ranks, right? I was a senior airman at the time, but I was in recon, so we were kind of like this special ops unit. We were usually untouched, but not for this one. Early riser got the phone call, and it was to report up to the O2 level. And me and probably about 20 other junior Marines, and there were some Navy dudes out there too, some junior guys who just got on ship, getting punished basically. We got to dig into every single bag in this giant pile of trash to pull out aluminum foil and plastic with our bare hands. There was no rubber gloves back then or nothing. And so all day, man, I'm just wading through this pile of just putrid trash, separating all this crap. And we were out there for 10 to 12 hours probably. Anyway, it was like, it makes you gag, maggots growing. Like, I don't want to get too descriptive, but anytime your kids want to complain about having to take out the garbage, or I don't know, man, clean the room, tell them early risers story of sitting out in the 100-degree sun, having to dig through a mountain of rotten trash to sort out aluminum foil and plastic. Yeah, that one will be with me till I die. And the last thing I'll tell you about that cruise that's funny, and we were going through the Suez Canal. So the Suez Canal is right there on the east coast of Africa, and it's that canal that they built in between, what is that, Sudan? No, not Sudan. Whatever that down peninsula is right there, I can't remember, but on one side you got Africa, on the other side you got basically Persia, or the Persian Gulf, separated by whatever that peninsula is. I could look it up on the map, but I'm too lazy. So we're going through it, right? We're heading south through it, going to the Persian Gulf. And so the African Americans on ship are like, man, I ain't never been to Africa. It's the homeland. So let's go up and have a little meeting and pay homage to Africa. And so they did. And it was kind of cool, actually. They were up, and just one guy was kind of like the little preacher, and they were looking out over Africa and saying a couple of prayers. And I thought it was kind of cool, man. I mean, that is their heritage, and it was all right. But then this Navy dude, this old salty dude who'd been through the Suez Canal before, I was standing up there just kind of watching what was going on, and he walks over to him, and he taps that preacher on the shoulder. The preacher was, and this is a Marine or a Navy dude, I'm calling him a preacher, but he was a guy talking. So this guy taps him on the shoulder, and that dude's in the middle of a sentence, and he stops and turns around and kind of gives him a little bit of attitude. He's like, what, can't you see we're doing something? He's like, hey, you bunch of idiots, Africa's on the other side of the ship. I had to run and hide before I got jumped by all those African Americans, because I was laughing so hard, and I didn't even realize they were looking at the wrong side either. So, oh man, that might not be as funny as just me telling it, but God, that was funny, because there was probably 50 to 75 dudes all staring at the wrong side of the ship, saying, the motherland. And it was hilarious. So that's definitely not meant to be any kind of racial bashing. It was just something that happened, and hilarious, man. And at the end, most of them got a kick out of it too. Alright, y'all, that's it from the ER today. It's Friday, it's Cinco de Mayo. Am I going to drink a beer today? Probably not, but if I do, it'll be a Corona with a lime in it. And there's a restaurant called Cilantro's right down the street. Might go get me a burrito today. Alright, y'all. Still got about 10 or 11 to make up tomorrow to get back up here to Bennington. And then everything south of Bennington will be complete. And we're going to push north through Vermud. Alright, y'all, I'm gonna watch some videos. If I think of something else, I'll get with you. Deuces. Hope your day's great. It's Friday. Let's fire it up. Weekend's here. Booyah. Alright, y'all, I'm at Cilantro Restaurant right down from the hotel. Right as you're entering into Bennington, going north on South Street, I think. Anyway, looking good. Got 2 street tacos, beans, cheese. Looking forward to it. And a bottle of Coke. Alright, y'all. Let me show y'all my favorite part of thru hiking. Food. And this is the resupply my wife just sent me. This has become kind of standard. We kind of have a... When she was up here, I took a picture of the resupply that I went and bought at Walmart that she helped me with. And she just kind of just pulls that up and copies it. So I'll go through this real quick. Red Mage, I want you to look at this because this is what I eat for 4 days. And this ain't all of it, to be honest with you, but this is most of it. Alright, I'll start with breakfast. These are 4 packs of the Nature's Path organic Pop-Tarts. Love them. Talked about them before. And then at least 3 mornings I will back that up with a Lenny's and Larry's cookie. 16 grams of protein for that whole cookie. This is going to give me my slower burning carbs. It's only got 15 grams of sugar. Well, 30 grams for the whole cookie. But it's got some good stuff in it too. So that's going to be my slower burning carbs. And then for my first morning snack, it will be a protein bar. There's 3 here. I've got 1 more already in my pack. So I'll eat one of these about 2 hours into the hike. For lunch, I'm still doing Cliff Bar with a honey packet and peanut butter on top. And I'll usually do a pack of crackers with it or something to go along with it. For mid-afternoon snack, I'm doing another protein bar. Those are 20 grams, so that's 40 grams of protein right there. 56 grams of protein right there with the cookie. 11 grams per Cliff Bar, so we're up to, what is that, 67 grams, plus 7 grams of protein for the peanut butter, so we're up to 74 grams of protein. My math may be off, and that doesn't count protein in the other stuff. I also have a Power Crunch. These are so lightweight, y'all, and they're delicious. It's got 13 grams of protein, and they weigh like 1.4 ounces. I told my wife not to pack these because, man, they just don't fill me up because there's not much substance to them. But then I was like, well, heck, man, they don't weigh anything, and there's 13 grams of protein. How many calories? 205 calories, so pretty good. I'm going to eat these for dessert after my evening meals. Okay, I got my assortment of Snickers. Got the Extreme, which are my favorite. Peanut butter, hazelnut. I went and got a nut ray just yesterday just because I've reading everybody's comments on the candy bars, and I love those. And then I had an extra Snickers left over. Got 4 big honey buns. I think my favorite are the Tasty Cakes so far, but any honey bun's a good honey bun. Snacks. Other snacks that I eat while I'm cooking my dinner. Those peanut butter pretzels are my go-to, and I love them. And I also throughout the day will eat one of the Fig bars, maybe for breakfast, maybe for a snack. And then I have beef stick and cheese too. So y'all, I eat a lot because I walk a long way every day, so getting those calories back in is huge. Then I got an assortment of peanuts and cashews. This is a lot. I will probably eat some of these tomorrow. Those are heavy, so I'm going to reduce that down a little bit before I start walking. Dinner, I'm still cooking. Got 4 nights worth, so 2 packs of chicken, half a pack a night with 1 ramen. She packed me some sea salt, so that's good. So I can quit using this iodized crap that I get from restaurants. And what did I forget? Got my Maxim coffee package. Ain't nothing better than that right there, y'all. Delicious. I got 1 of these Vias left over, and I'll probably drink it in the morning here at the hotel. Oh, I want to talk about these packets too. I will give a shout out to Gucci Girl and Grumpy, because they're the ones who showed me these when they were doing Trail Magic, and I've started getting these. And I will eat 4 of these for lunch, and then the rest of them I just use for energy shot. Man, it's just raw, unfiltered honey. Good natural energy. Eat one of these right at the bottom of a hill, and you will pretty much float up the hill. That's an early riser promise. Float. And then we got some Propel. Got to keep those electrolytes going. I might get a couple of more. Alright, y'all, so that is the 4-day food resupply. I know some of y'all are like, oh my God, if I eat that much I'd be fat. But you really wouldn't if you're doing 25 mile an hour. I wish I was doing 25 mile an hour. 25 mile days, and you're walking pretty much 10 to 12 hours a day. Everything here, man, I still can't keep up with the calories I'm burning, but I have arrested the weight loss, and I have gained a little bit back, so we're doing something right. Alright, y'all.